If I could show you a way to get into property without investing a penny, would you be interested? Stick around to the end of this video and you'll know exactly how to do it. Three ways to get rent-to-rent deals with no money down. First and foremost is no deposits. You can work with landlords direct and you get no deposit deals. Now, a lot of people ask me how I do this. If you build enough of a relationship, then you don't need to put a deposit down. Whether you're going to run them as serviced accommodation units or you're going to run them as HMOs, ultimately the party incoming into your property is going to be paying a deposit. Therefore, you don't need to pay a deposit. And all this needs is some clarification around the point, make sure that the landlord fully understands the concept and that he is not going to be left high and dry, because that will be the biggest issue, is the trust issue. What if you damage his property? Now, for me, I can't damage a serviced accommodation property, or I cannot let a serviced accommodation stay damaged, because the next guest is coming in. They've seen photos online. They are expecting that when they walk into the property. So if we've got a damaged property, it needs to be fixed before the next guest comes in so that they get what they've paid for. Similarly, if you're wanting to operate the HMO strategy, then you will take a deposit off your tenant. The tenant, if they damage the room, you will then get it fixed, because you'll not get another tenant in there until you've fixed that damage. And 9 times out of 10, all that it needs is clarification with the landlord, exactly that point. So make sure you build your relationship, make sure you explain fully what you're doing, and you will get no deposit down deals, which ultimately means you don't have to pull any cash out and you can potentially get more units, or you can just get started if you've got no money to invest in the first place. The next thing to do is try and target furnished properties. Furniture is one of the biggest expenses of setting properties up, whether you're doing serviced accommodation or HMOs. They do require a fair bit of furniture. You're looking at about anywhere from 1,500 quid to £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, depending on the size of the property per setup. So if you can get a property rented that already has furniture in there that you can work with, you can maybe gloss it up and dress it up a bit to make it look tidy and fresh, then that is going to help you save a lot of money and help you get into this game without having to invest any more money. Whilst I've still got your attention, if you're enjoying this video content, then there's plenty more where it came from. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe to the channel. And there's links in the description which give you other videos exactly like this one to help you on your property journey. The final point around this is to add value as you get rental income. Now, what do we mean by that? If you can't afford to put wall art on, maybe put a bit of a decoration on, or put some new carpets in, just get started. Just make sure it's in a position where it's rentable or it's hostable, and you will get bookings and you will get tenants. As you start getting that revenue in and you start making profit from the venture, you can then reinvest the profit back into the property and start making it how you would want it to be, to attract a better tenant, attract a better guest, and over time you're making the money work for you. Now, you might find that you have this intention and you never actually do it because you get fully tenanted or you're hosting well and you're making the money. But if you're not, or if you are struggling to get that higher value, maybe you charge a slightly lesser room rate, 375, 400, when really it should be 450, knowing that the property maybe has magnolia walls and it's not got the nicest kitchen in the world, then over time, what you can do as tenants check out, you can start decorating, putting feature walls, maybe touching the kitchen up, and then starting to charge that higher room rent. As long as your numbers work at the lower amount from day one, then take the deal on, get into it, and start that way. Ultimately, you've got to start somewhere. If you've got no money, you're going to have to figure it out. The other option is to take a 0% credit card, or a credit card even with an APR. As long as you are using that money to invest in creating more cash flow, that is good debt, not bad debt. Bad debt is going to a pool party, buying loads of champagne and spraying it all over people. There is no point in doing that, especially putting that on a high APR credit card. However, if you borrow some money from a credit card, a loan, and that allows you to create cash flow to pay that money back, then that's good debt and another great way to get into property and get your journey kickstarted. Thanks for watching this video. There's plenty more awesome content where this came from. As I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and continue watching the videos. And if you really want to get ahead of the game, then join my private Facebook group. Just head over to Facebook, 7-Figure Property Empire, click the link to join, and we'll get you on the inside.